Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today I just filmed this soft glam makeup tutorial. I've been asked to do a makeup tutorial on my channel a lot. I've been asked to do a makeup tutorial, like a soft glam makeup tutorial in-depth video on my, well, technically on my Instagram a lot, but I've never done it on my Instagram, but I'm doing it on YouTube just because I feel like it is so much easier for you guys to be able to see what I'm actually doing, as opposed to just doing like a reel, any other like type of like a reel or IGTV, because I don't want to put anything on Instagram that's longer than 5 minutes long. But I tried to be as in-depth as I could. This is going to be a voiceover video because there was a lot going on at home, and I just thought, you know what, let me just do this as a voiceover because I can properly and thoroughly explain what I'm doing. I will list all the products that I use down below. My lashes are from my hair company, so you won't be able to buy them, because I know someone's gonna ask me like, where are your lashes from? They're from my vendor. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Like, comment, share and subscribe, please. That will help me a lot, guys. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. So first things first, we're going to start off with the Kiko Milano or Holiday Fable 2-in-1 Rosy Glow Potion. It is a face serum. I love using it before my makeup because it does give my skin a really nice healthy glow. It is a serum you can also use in your normal everyday skincare routine, but I do tend to prefer to use it before. Then I'm going to use a brush and blend that all into my skin. It does make your skin feel a little bit tacky, but do you see the glow that it gives your skin? It is just everything. Next, I'm going to go with Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I do really love this primer. It does make your skin feel a little bit tacky, but to me it makes my makeup last. I do have oily skin, but it does make my makeup hold up quite well. So I'm just going to rub that into my skin as my primer. After that, I'm then going to go with the XX Revolution Quick Fix Mattifying Primer. This does help with my under eyes creasing, so I'm just going to take a small amount and pop that under both of my eyes and then blend that out. Next, I'm just going to brush up my brows. I did do the soap brow with the Pears soap, but I didn't record that bit, funnily enough. I'm then going to go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 17. Just to conceal the bottom part of my brows. I'm not going to put it right below my brows. I'm going to leave like the tiniest bit of space. I'm going to use a round flat brush just to carve out the base of my brows. Also notice that I'm using a very light hand. I'm not going to pack on too much concealer because I want it to be a light look, and I don't really want to have the whole halo eye, super bright under eye look. And I'm also not taking the concealer right to the forefront of my brow. Then I'm going to use a small blending brush and just blend that out. Very carefully, no harsh lines besides like the very bottom of the brow, but I want to blend all of that in so then it can also blend in with the eyeshadow that I'm going to do later on. I'll be taking the same concealer again and then just using a small amount of that to prime my eyelids, just because I will be using some shadows, and just so the shadows show up a bit better, I'm going to use the concealer just as a base, and then I'm also going to blend that out with the same concealer brush that I was using before, just to buff it out and make sure that it's well blended so I can pack the colours on top. I'll be switching between two Beauty Bay palettes, their Nude 42 palette and their Fiery, I think 2.0 palette. I will list all the shades that I used down below, but I'm going to start off with this soft pink as a base color or transition color. I'm going to put that all over both my eyelids. Next up, I'm going to go in with a deep purple shade and place that just at the corners of my crease. I'm going to use that just to deepen up the crease a little bit, just so there's a bit of dimension in the look. And then I'm going to take a plain or clean blending brush and then just use that to blend in the colour. I'm gonna go in with a nice soft pink shade. It's more like a creamy pink or a plush pink. It's very white. I don't really know how to describe the color, but it's a very light pink. And I'm gonna place that on my eyelids, and I'm also gonna blend that in up across my nose, sort of into like the hollows of my eyes, just to brighten up my eyes a bit and make them look a little bit wider. And again, with a clean brush, I'm just going to blend that out so it doesn't look too white. And then I'm going to deepen up the crease again, adding a little bit of a lighter purple shade, just to again add a bit of dimension and to give the look a little bit more va-va-voom. And then again to blend it out, just to make everything look really nice and seamless. Then I'm gonna add this pinkish shade, like a deep mauvey purpley pink, just to add a bit more color to the eye, because I felt like it was a bit too dark. And I didn't want it to be like a sultry glam, I wanted it to be more soft and pink. So I just added that in just to give the eyes a bit more colour. So it's a lot softer, just a little bit more softer, not necessarily like a dark eyeshadow look. And I'm going to blend that all out, just so it's all nice and seamless. I'll be taking my eyeliner. I actually got this eyeliner from Primark. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit just so you can properly see what I'm doing. But I've taken like a really small detail brush and I'm using that to line my eyes. I do think that this will help with anyone who struggles with eyeliner, because it's very, very, very precise and you have complete control. I would also recommend doing small light strokes, just like I'm doing, just so it's a bit easier to get the shape of your eye, especially if you're not really used to doing eyeliner. Usually I do my eyeliner a lot more quickly, and I'd actually start with the wing, but because I'm not doing a wing liner and I'm just lining my eyes, I'm just going to use this detail brush just to line. When I put on lashes, it just pulls the look together a bit better. Then I'm going to go with foundation. I am using the NARS All Day Weightless Luminous Foundation, but this foundation, as far as I'm aware, has been discontinued, hence not showing it. But I'm going to place it all across my face, and then I'm going to use a nice flat brush and then just buff that in. I do take my time with buffing in my foundation because I don't want any streakiness. Sometimes I would go over with a beauty blender, but I didn't this time round. So I'm just going to buff it all in just so it's completely blended, and also leaves for a more seamless base, because I don't want products moving around or having to go in again to add like more foundation and stuff. So I'm just going to buff that in, speeding through this because, you know, I'm going to buff that in, and then after that we're going to go in with two of my favorite concealers. Now we're gonna take the Born This Way multi sculpting concealer in the shade Maple. I'm gonna use this as the first concealer shade that I use. I'm gonna place the concealer on the high points of my face. You can already see where the light hits my face, and that's basically where I'm gonna place the concealer and blend it out. So I'm gonna put the concealer under both eyes. I'm also going to place the concealer on the bridge of my nose, above my cupid's bow, on my chin, and then as well on my forehead. Now I'm going to use a damp beauty blender, and I want to show you guys how I blend up my concealer. So I always start with the bottom of the concealer and blend it first, just so that there's no harsh lines and it really forms like a nice transition matte before I put on my contour, and then I'll begin to blend further up. But I always start really slowly blending out the outside first and then the inside of the concealer. I do this with my other eye as well, same with my forehead, my nose, my chin, as well as my cupid's bow. I think it just gives it gives such a nicer blend, and I feel like my makeup sits better when I do it this way. I do tend to let the concealer dry down just a little bit for a little added coverage, and also to avoid the concealer creasing under my eyes. But I find that this is the best technique for blending out your concealer. I also find that it makes my concealer not look so cakey. It does look a lot less cakey. When I blend it out with a brush, sometimes I do feel it looks a little bit cakey, but with the beauty blender it seems a lot more blended, a lot more seamless. And then I'm also going to take it up by sort of like reverse contour, but just under where my cheekbones are as well. And then we're going to set that later with powder, but this is just so my face looks a bit more unified and there aren't just places on my face that aren't highlighted or just look a bit random. I think it pulls the look together really nicely. Then I'm going to blend out my cupid's bow, blend out the bridge of my nose as well with the beauty blender, and my forehead. We're going to go in with another Too Faced concealer in the shade Warm Beige, just to brighten up our under eye. I'm going to take this under both eyes again, and then my chin and my forehead. I'm not going to put it on my nose because I feel like it's just a bit much. And I also don't put it on my cupid's bow as well. And I'm basically going to blend that out again the same way I blended the other concealer. So starting with the corners, blending it in, using a very light hand, not too harsh, and very softly just pressing the product in just to blend out, because I don't want any harsh lines, don't want flashback or anything like that. But it does really brighten up your eyes just a little bit, nothing too dramatic. But I think with Soft Glam's a bright under eye, not super bright, but a bright under eye does really pull the look together. We're going to go in with another concealer to contour. I'm using the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Deep Walnut. I feel like I always call it Deep Chestnut on Instagram, which is really bad, but it is the shade Deep Walnut. And I am going to place it on the high points of my cheekbones. I don't actually place it in my cheekbones because I feel like it drags my face down, so I place it a little bit higher, and then I always blend upwards with I don't really know how to describe the brush, but like a round flat brush sort of, and I just blend it in an upwards motion. I do blend it right up into like my cheeks, just below my under eye as well, because I feel like it pulls the look in a lot more. I also do put a tiny bit on the bottom of my nose, and then I'm going to blend out the other side as well. Do you see how my skin looks, guys? My skin looks so good. But obviously always take your time with blending. blend, 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 blend. Take your time, there is no rush. I do speed through parts of this, but as you can see, I am taking my time to blend. Then I'll take the residue and put the rest on my forehead. I'm not going to add any on my forehead particularly because I am wearing a wig and I don't really want any like harsh lines. Then I'm going to take just 2 small dots on either side of my nose, and then I'm going to blend in my nose with the same concealer brush that I used for my under eyes. I'm just going to blend that down the bridge of my nose, buff it into my brows as well. I love doing this because I feel like it gives me like a lioness type of look. I actually really love connecting my brows with my nose contour. I just think it looks great. Personally, that's just a personal preference. You don't have to do your concealer this way, but I do love to do mine this way. Next up, we're taking the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in the shade Blondie to set our eyes. I do not actually bake. I never bake. I just take the powder on a damp beauty blender, tap off the excess, as you can see me doing with the lid, and then carefully press it in and roll it into my skin. I never bake. I just feel like it makes my eyes crease, it makes me look too cakey. I've always had issues with baking, so I just prefer to press in the powder. This powder is 10 out of 10. Personally, to me, I would say it's my holy grail at the moment. I prefer it over my Fenty, but I'm just going to add a little bit more. Again, just press it in because I do want a really nice soft look. And I'm going to place it also down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to place some on my cupid's bow, on my chin, and then I'm going to roll it into my forehead as well, just to get rid of some of the shine from the illuminating foundation. I'm then gonna take the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami, and I'm gonna use that just to bronze my face. I don't actually use a contour powder, I only use bronzers, and I'm just gonna place that again where I contoured on the high points of my cheeks, a little bit on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, well, not the bridge of my nose, down the sides of my nose, sorry, and then also on my jawline. So as I mentioned before, I'm just going to take a small amount of that and place it down the sides of my nose, just to contour my nose as well, not to leave out any parts of my face. And then I'm also going to set down the bridge of my nose as well before I spray the rest of my face with setting spray. So I don't know how I lost the clip, but I did lose the clip of me setting my face, but I did use a Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. It does give you a really luminous finish. I think that it leaves me a bit too shiny because I do have oily skin, so throughout the day, like, the shine will end up making me look oily. So I always just take my beauty blender and press the excess into my skin. And then I'll go in again with a small bit of powder just under my eyes and across my face, just to mute my face a little bit, dim some of that shine, just so I don't look too glowy. So before, because I have oily skin, sometimes a glow can look a bit greasy, a bit too oily, so I just take a little bit extra powder just to get rid of some of that shine. I'm going to use the XX Revolution blush in the shade Retro. I do really love this coral orangish blush. I think it really looks gorgeous on darker skin. So I'm just going to place it on the balls of my cheek just to shape my face a little bit. And I'm also going to put a small amount on the base of my nose as well. Then now I'm going to go off camera and just stick on my lashes, finish off my eyes, and I'm going to come back to do one of my favorite lip combos. Starting off with the MUA Makeup Academy Intense Color Lip Liner in the shade Obsession. This is a really nice brown lip liner. It actually retails for about £2. In Superdrug, used to be £1.50, but they raised their prices, ciao. But I do really love this brown. It's a really nice soft brown. And then I'm going to go in with the MUA Makeup Academy lipstick as well in the shade Bona Fide. It's a really gorgeous satin finish lipstick, one of my favorite lipsticks as well. A lot of these products are very affordable that you can honestly pick up in like Superdrug or Boots. Others are a little bit more high-end, but everything here is pretty much inexpensive, I would say personally. Then I'm going to top everything off with a Kiko Milano Hydragloss. I can't remember the shade. I'm going to find the shade and list it in the description box as well. I'm going to go back in again with the lip liner just to redefine the outsides of my lip. I'm going to sort out my hair and then complete the rest of this look. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will definitely see you in my next video.